Well, we tasked Alice Beer with coming in today to test one out, and she's been outside this morning practicing, see whether she can get the hang of it. Has done
Looking
extremely
good there,
well.
though. Look at her
She's
go.
scooting along. They're capable of going up to 30 miles an hour, although a lot of them are speed limited. They can cost anywhere from £100 to £1,000, and here she comes now to ride to the Valkyries.
Steady as you go.
Hello, I'm extending my ride. I'm not supposed to. I'm going ad lib. I'm going.
Oh, well done.
Oh.
Oh, my God, steady on the corner.
I've got to be 2 metres away from you, though.
You've got the hang of that.
I love it. Look at this. Whoa!
Oh, my gosh. Now, park that thing.
You had to have a bit of
damn
excitement,
yourself.
didn't you? Well, you had a go earlier. What did you think?
I love it. I absolutely love it.
Aren't they great?
Yeah, and if you were allowed to ride them, I'd like one.
Yeah,
Well, that
exactly.
is the problem, isn't it, Alice? Because there are rules when it comes to this.
I mean, I've got helmet hair, sorry.
No, you look lovely, actually, today. Are they legal here or not?
Well, this is the ridiculous thing, OK? So, no, if you buy an electric scooter, you are not allowed to ride it on the road, on the pavement, anywhere, in a cycle lane, anywhere apart from on your own land or on private land with the permission of the landowner.
Right.
The only people that can ride, the only legal riding of an e-scooter is if you are taking part in one of the UK government's trial schemes, which are all around the country at the moment, none in London at the moment.
Right, so can you be fined?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I mean, the government are taking this very seriously, more seriously than anywhere else in the world. So anywhere else in the world, 125 cities all over the world, there are these scooters out absolutely everywhere. Whereas the UK government has said, this is a motor vehicle. You need to be 18 to ride it. You need to have a licence. If you get caught riding it illegally, you can get points on your licence and a £300 fine. They are taking this very, very seriously. And I think, part of me thinks this is a really good way to approach it.
I have my doubts here because I have a difficulty separating what that does to an e-bike.
Yes.
So that's power assisted.
Yes, it is.
And so what's the difference between an e-bike and a scooter, which you are allowed to ride your e-bike? Where I think we're going wrong here is that it should be against the law across the board. I've got my bike. Across the board, it should be against the law to ride anything without a helmet.
Absolutely.
The amount of money that would save in brain surgery from people who haven't worn helmets and have come off their bikes.
Well, this is the problem. And as you say, it doesn't mean that we've got it right for hybrid bikes and we're getting it wrong for this. It means that maybe retrospectively we will bring in a rule or a law for hybrid bikes.
The law should be, it is compulsory.
Absolutely, and maybe compulsory to have a driving licence for
and to have insurance?
to have road savvy, to have insurance. So these schemes where, like I was riding a Lime one there in Milton Keynes at the moment, they have to have insurance. They have to geo-fence the areas where those scooters are allowed to go. They have to speed limit them. This thing is so, I mean, you can call it nanny state if you want, but this is so carefully controlled because, like a hybrid bike, like any bike, like a skateboard, if you have an accident and fall off it, so it's just you and the piece of equipment that you fall off, you might graze yourself, you might twist your ankle, you might sprain, you might even break your wrist.
Same as a bike.
Same as a bike. If you collide with something, and we know there was a very famous death last year, very sad, of someone who was on an e-scooter.
This is Emily Hartridge, the TV presenter and YouTube star.
Exactly.
She's believed to be the first e-scooter death in the UK.
In the UK. There have been others across the world. She collided with a lorry. I'm sorry, but if you're on a bike or a skateboard or crossing the road, if you collide with a motor vehicle, you are going to have a serious, serious accident.
So this is the UK that we're talking about here. What about sort of worldwide? Where are they at with this?
OK, so if you go to a city like Lisbon, Paris, anywhere really across the world, you will see these scooters everywhere. Now, it's really interesting because they're not motor vehicles there and they are largely not dockable. So you pick it up from somewhere and you do not have to, you use it via an app. So you scan the QR code and off you go and you ride it where you want. Most journeys are less than a mile, which is perfect, say from the station to your house or your station to a meeting, and then you drop it off anywhere. On the pavement, anywhere. You have to take a photograph to show that you have parked it responsibly, but you don't have to leave it on a dock. So that's where the people of Paris were in uproar because these things were littering the streets. They were everywhere.
20,000 of them there.
People who are blind, you know, trying to negotiate a pavement is hard enough without big chunks of metal.
That's a very good point. Well, we're also joined now by Luke Griggs, who is the Deputy CEO of brain injury charity Headway. And Luke, thank you for joining us this morning. And you have real concerns about this, partly what Phil was talking about there, where you think people must wear helmets. So what is your worry about these trials?
Well, I think that is a really good point, and it was great to see Alice wearing a helmet there, because we know just how vital a role they play in protecting cyclists from serious brain injuries and fatalities. So we think it's absolutely vital. We're talking here about e-scooter riders wearing helmets as well, and you're right, they are power assisted. And if you've got people on scooters, or sorry, on mopeds having to wear helmets, we think that the e-scooter riders should be held to the same sort of standards, because they are dangerous. And we've already had reports in America about the risk to sustaining a brain injury from e-scooters being double that from cyclists. Double. And that's really concerning.
Well, just to pick up on the point we were making, or I was making earlier on, I mean, I'm a very keen bike rider. I would not think about going out on my bike without my helmet. We have a member, an extended member of our family, who had an accident on a bike and sustained life-changing brain injuries. And so it's inconceivable for me to get on a bike. And also the amount of money it costs the National Health every year for people who have been riding bikes without helmets and have brain injuries because they didn't have a helmet. So surely the law should be, if we are being encouraged, if the government are encouraging us, everybody is encouraging us to go green, nothing in life is safe. But surely you make it that much safer by saying it is now against the law to ride a scooter or a bike without a helmet.
And we would 100% support that call. We've been campaigning for cycle helmet laws for many, many years. And the reason is because the evidence is overwhelming. We have, scientific evidence to say that they protect against head and brain injuries. We have neurosurgeons confirming exactly that, about how they can protect it. And we have numerous people who we support to rebuild their lives after devastating brain injury, which you yourself will know, Phil, can be lifelong. And it can affect not just the individual, but the rest of the family as well. And it can change the very essence of who you are and what you can do in the very course and path of your life. Now, that can be avoided. And if it can be avoided by the simple notion of putting on a helmet, why on earth wouldn't you? It's just a very common sense, sensible thing to do. And we do think that it should be mandatory. And we do think that people need to be encouraged to do this and make it second nature, as is putting a seatbelt on.
But you're not against e-scooters, are you? Because, I mean, I guess it's a viable option right now in this pandemic where people don't want to get on public transport necessarily. They're eco-friendly, so they're good for the environment. We're all trying to find ways to be more environmentally friendly. So are you totally against them, or can you see the redeeming features of them?
I can certainly see why they're popular and they're common. I mean, Alice clearly had a buzz there and had a lot of fun on it. But we are concerned, and I think that we are very eager to see the results of this trial. We're pleased to see the trials are taking place, but we know there's already challenges. One trial was abandoned after just 5 days into 12 months because people were riding them on the pavements. And then you've got people, riding them on the roads, and I could understand why people would be reluctant to ride them on the roads. You've got these very little wheels. We know there are potholes on our roads. We know that if you're going over, a drain cover, that's going to be difficult on one of those scooters. And I can just fear that people are going to start dodging and weaving to try and avoid these potholes, these manhole covers, or whatever it may be on these scooters. And I think we're going to have to be watching the results of this trial very, very carefully. And I just hope that the stats and the epidemiology of this is very carefully controlled, and we look at it very seriously and look at it as an evidence-based decision.
Thank you. Thank you
One
very much.
One of the stats is that in Milton Keynes, they've saved 4,350 car journeys in the last month. So there's a positive stat for you.
There is, yeah.
Some plus and minus with everything.
Thank you.